What's up, guys? Coach Matt here, and something special happened at the end of an online session with my client Elvira recently that I think is worth sharing because there's a message that just about everyone who's experienced aches, pains, and tightness should hear. Now, luckily, she agreed to let me share her moment with everyone. Now, my hope is that this will give you some perspective on what to expect when you start mobility training, how soon you can see results, what hurdles you may need to work through, and most importantly, inspire you to keep moving. Now, you are not broken, and I hope Elvira's story will show you that. Now, she went from being paralyzed in pain to doing her little happy dance once she realized the progress she had made, but it didn't come without its challenges. So let's dive into Elvira's story of how she relieved hip pain in just 2 months. Now, before I show you her video from our coaching session, I think it's important to give you just a little bit of background on where she started so you can see the whole picture. When I met her, she was at the point where many years as a chef and then also being a pretty active person had taken a devastating toll on her body. Now, she was struggling with neck pain, hip pain on both sides. Now, unfortunately, those two big issues were robbing her of her passions, which are cooking, yoga, and downhill skiing. Now, desperate for help, she started doing some kin stretch and some other mobility modalities from videos she found online. Now, they were great, but they were too advanced for what her body could handle at that particular moment. Now, after her husband had a session with me, he realized she needed some fine-tuning and training that was tailored to her body and where she was currently at. So we got her scheduled right away for an assessment. I like to say, if you're not assessing, you're just guessing, which is why the first step in anyone's mobility training journey 1000% needs to start here. Now, during her initial assessment, the two biggest issues we discovered were that her hips actually had pretty good range of motion, but unfortunately she was extremely weak and unstable in all those ranges. You can be flexible, but if you aren't stable, problems are going to start. Now, as for her neck, she had extremely limited range of motion, and she just had a hard time finding pain-free ways to move it. Now, without getting into too much detail on her programming, here's kind of what we focused on. Opening up new pain-free ranges of motion in her neck, while also making those tissues of her neck a little bit more resilient. Secondly, we developed strength and control in all the ways her hips could move. And then lastly, we established better awareness, strength, and control in all the other joints of the body. Believe it or not, one of the most challenging skills to learn when you first start mobility training isn't necessarily getting the exercises correct. It's more about finding that sweet spot for the proper amount of intensity to use. You're going to go too little, you're not going to provide enough stimulus to create change. If you go too much, boy oh boy, will your nervous system start to throw a hissy fit. Now, in the beginning for Elvira, this was the exact situation she was challenged with. She had to go through kind of like a feeling out process for a couple of weeks to figure out what that sweet spot was. Now, if you've ever done anything physical and thought, I'm not getting a huge stretch or I'm not feeling the burn, so I must not be doing enough, then you'd be in the same exact boat as Elvira and so many others. Now, understandably, when she got too aggressive, it resulted in setbacks like feeling new pain points and tightness, which started to trigger thoughts like, am I making things worse? The reality is that when you first start, you're asking the body to move in ways it probably hasn't done in a very long time. Now, add into the mix pushing it too hard, and this makes the tissue and the nervous system respond very poorly, which is going to result in more tightness plus more aches and pains. Now, after the first 2 weeks, she wasn't feeling much of a difference, and most people at that point would have simply given up. However, Elvira is special and she persisted. She stayed super consistent in her daily homework, and by the next week, something clicked and she realized the following. Providing the body with a pain-free, low-intensity stimulus and doing it consistently results in permanent positive gains. Now, let me repeat that because this is where the magic is. Pushing your mobility exercises super hard does not equal faster gains, but providing the body with that pain-free, low-intensity stimulus consistently results in those permanent positive gains that all of us are looking for. Now, once this clicked for her, every week she would get so excited to show me how much her neck had improved in range of motion or how good her hips were feeling. Also, you could start to see her demeanor on camera change as well because she was realizing for the first time in a while, improvements were being made. And as you're about to see, the pure joy that comes with realizing better days are on the way is indescribable. Now, I hope you enjoy watching this, and hopefully it brightens up your day and gives you the motivation to stay consistent with your mobility training so you can get back to your active, pain-free life.
I'm really excited is that now when the hip starts to pain me, then I just do few things. I do the cars, I stretch, I move, I something, and I see it working. Do you know what I mean? Because before it was like I was stuck there. Once the pain came, I was paralyzed in the pain, And now it's maybe it's a walk, maybe it's for sure a few cars. That's the first thing I do. I just do a few cars. And then mostly by the end of 4 or 5 cars is already at a level that is much easier. And then the next step, either the walk or the moving around, then it does it. And it's
Oh, that makes me so happy, Elvira. That's why we do this.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And hey, thank you for being patient because I know in the beginning it was a little bumpy. I know. And it's hard. And I can say that to somebody, but until they go through it and then they come out the other side, they don't get it. So thank you for just continuing to do it because it's you doing the work because you do more work than anybody I know of who I give this stuff to, you and your husband. So it's your guys' consistency and effort, and just keep hacking away every single day, okay?
Yeah, 2 months. January and February full. So yeah.
It's crazy.
2 months is nothing. 2 months is nothing.
It's funny you say that because I always tell people they're like, oh, I don't want to wait that long. I'm like, well, think about where your hip could be in 6 months if you start working on it right now.
Yeah.
Like, you could have a completely different hip in 6 months if you start working on it right now. But most people can't see the end game. But
I can go back to yoga. I haven't tried yet, because I just wanted to get really stable and steady, because otherwise it's too frustrating to go all the way back. So
yep.
I gotta wait. I'd rather do more of the exercises because it gives me the impression or the feeling, yeah, I am working out, than to go to yoga because it's just I just gonna do something that is gonna ask too much of me. Yeah. And
soon enough, because the things we're doing will carry over to yoga. Yeah. Because I want you to have the confidence to go to yoga. I don't want you to be scared, right? Because you're terrified. If you go to yoga, you're going to get set back. I know. We're going to get your confidence to where you feel like if I go in there, and then you'll know what you can and can't do at that particular moment, which is probably the most important thing.